I was sitting alone in the car, engine off, lights dimmed, watching the hotel entrance like I'd watched it 100 times before. Same man, same hour, same lie. I had grown familiar with their patterns, familiar enough to predict the exact second she would step out, adjusting her hair, fixing her dress, pretending she hadn't just betrayed her marriage again. But today was different. Today she texted me, "Congrats, you're going to be a daddy." 7 words, 7 lies, sent from a hotel bed she didn't share with me. A strange calm settled over my chest. Not anger, not sadness, something colder. A confirmation, delivered by the liar herself. I typed slowly, steady fingers, steady breath. "Isn't your lover a good daddy for your kids?" I imagined her face when she read it. The shock, the stillness, the sudden collapse of the little world she thought she'd built behind my back. I didn't wait for her reply. I didn't need it. My revenge had already begun long before this moment, and she never saw any of it coming. I drove home in silence, my silence. Not the silence of a broken man, but the silence of someone who has already made peace with the truth, someone who's already acted on it. When I reached the door, the house felt lighter. Empty, not abandoned, cleared. Every bag, every suitcase, every drawer, gone. Clothes, jewelry, sentimental things she claimed she couldn't live without. Gone. All our money, transferred days ago. I had moved it slowly, quietly, piece by piece while she was busy lying in hotel rooms. I stepped into the bedroom last. That was where I left the real message. 2 torn rings, 2 shredded marriage certificates, placed perfectly on the bed, like an autopsy report for a marriage that died long before I touched the paper. I stood there, calm, almost detached, letting the moment settle. This wasn't destruction. This was clarity. I didn't sleep that night. Not because of the pain. Pain was a guest that had already overstayed its visit. But because of the silence that surrounded me now. A silence I had earned. Every step that led to this moment replayed in my mind. Not as regrets, but as confirmations. The late-night calls she took in the bathroom. The sudden change in passwords. The new perfume she never wore in front of me. The careful lies she thought were invisible. She thought I wasn't watching. She thought I wasn't thinking. She thought I wasn't capable of understanding what she was doing. She was wrong. The truth didn't come from a dramatic discovery or an emotional confession. It came from the small things, the receipts, the locations, the patterns she never imagined I would notice. So I collected them quietly. Phone records, hotel check-ins, DNA clinics bookmarked on her search history. A second phone she forgot I knew about. Piece by piece, I built a truth she didn't deserve, but I needed. I didn't confront her. I didn't scream. I didn't accuse, I simply prepared. Every lie she told me was a piece of rope she wrapped around her own neck, and I only pulled when the moment felt right. That moment was her text. That pathetic attempt to trap me into fatherhood for a child she knew wasn't mine. When the results came back, confirming it, I didn't feel my heart break. I felt it harden, cold, clean, controlled. I printed the report, placed it on the dresser beside our wedding photo, and walked away from both. When she finally arrived home the next morning, I was waiting, but not for her. I sat in the living room chair, hands folded, face blank. Not angry, not devastated, just done. She entered with shaky breaths, mascara smeared, trying to pretend she had explanations, reasons, justifications. Her voice trembled as she said my name. I didn't answer. I simply pointed to the bedroom. She walked in, and I listened to the silence break her open. First came the gasp, then the choked sob, then the panic. She called my name again, like I was supposed to save her from the consequences she crafted with her own hands. I didn't move. When she returned, holding the torn rings with trembling fingers, I looked at her for the first time. Her eyes begged for forgiveness, for a chance, for the life she threw away. All I gave her was truth. I knew, I said quietly. Not loud, not cruel, just final. She collapsed into tears, but I felt nothing. Not hatred, not sympathy, just distance. A distance she built, step by step, lie by lie. I stood, walked past her, and placed the DNA report on the table between us. Her breath stopped. Her body froze. Her world ended. Mine began. I didn't shout. I didn't insult her. I didn't call names. I simply walked to the door. "Everything you needed," I said, "was taken care of." She looked confused until she realized what I meant. The money was gone. The house was empty. The life she thought she could live on my name, over. She whispered, "Where will I go?" I met her eyes one last time. "You should have thought about that before you lied in that hotel bed." Then I left. Not with pain, not with rage, with freedom. The kind of freedom that comes when truth stops hurting and starts cleansing. I didn't look back. Some stories don't need an ending. They just need an exit. Mine was quiet, cold, complete. And, for the first time in a long time, I felt alive.